Now the functions of testis. Second function, steroidogenesis. Androgens. So the first, testosterone, it is the reproductive hormone of the male. Dihydrotestosterone, androstenedione. The main source for the testosterone, it is the Leydig cells. Leydig cell secrete the hormone testosterone. Adrenal glands nearly secrete the 5% of the total hormone, and these steroids are synthesized from the cholesterol or acetyl coenzyme A, and around this 97% bound to the sex hormone binding globulin and circulate inside the whole body, and these steroid hormones are metabolized into the androsterone, dehydroepiandrosterone, DHEA. Alright, so that is the basics of the testosterone. Now, what is the importance of LH, luteinizing hormone, in the synthesis of testosterone? So here we have to know that testosterone synthesis takes place from the cholesterol only. The first step in the process of testosterone synthesis, the cholesterol is converted to pregnenolone with the enzyme cholesterol desmolase. This process is enhanced by the luteinizing hormone, and this luteinizing hormone, it is the hormone of the anterior pituitary gland. Now, what is the mechanism of action of testosterone? Testes secrete the testosterone. Here inside the target cell, the testosterone is converted to dihydrotestosterone via the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, and this testosterone and dihydrotestosterone both enter and bind with the receptors that are present in the nucleus of the target cell. Now, the effect of dihydrotestosterone, it stimulates the external virilization and sexual maturation at the time of puberty. And the effect of testosterone hormone, the main effect it on the spermatogenesis, sexual differentiation, and the stimulation of the Wolffian duct. And this testosterone also regulate the gonadotropins, and this LH stimulate the process or the first step in the synthesis of testosterone hormone. So that is the mechanism of action of testosterone hormone. Now the functions of testosterone hormone. In the fetal life, sex differentiation and formation of male genitalia, and the most important function of testosterone in the descent of testes. At the time of puberty, it stimulates the growth of external genitalia and accessory sex organs, growth of male secondary sexual characteristics. This includes the beard, pubic, chest and axillary hair, cracking of voice and aggressiveness. Continuing at the puberty, it increases the skeletal growth. So the one can notice the growth spurt and rapid fusion of the bones, widening of the shoulders, narrow and funnel shaped pelvis. At the beginning of the puberty, the process of spermatogenesis has been stimulated, and hence the production of the sperm takes place. Protein anabolism has been increased inside the male body. It increases the basal metabolic rate. The skin becomes thick, increases in the RBC count. Why? Because the testosterone stimulates the process of erythropoiesis, sodium and water retention. So these are the functions of testosterone at the puberty. Now the functions of dihydrotestosterone. In the fetal differentiation of the external male genitalia, the penis, scrotum and prostate, male head distribution and male pattern of the baldness, that is caused by the dihydrotestosterone, for the sebaceous gland activity and for the growth of prostate. Now, how the regulation of hormone testosterone takes place? So first, in the hypothalamus, GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone, it stimulates the anterior pituitary gland, so that there will be the release of LH and FSH inside the blood circulation, and this LH having the direct effect on the Leydig cell and the production of testosterone. So this testosterone, once it is released or secreted inside the blood, it having the negative feedback mechanism on the anterior pituitary gland as well as on the hypothalamus, so that it reduces or stops the secretion of gonadotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus and luteinizing hormone from the anterior pituitary gland. Now this FSH or the follicle stimulating hormone, that having the effect on the Sertoli cells. These Sertoli cells releases inhibin B that having the negative feedback effect on the anterior pituitary gland, so it inhibits the release of follicle stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary gland. One more effect of the testosterone hormone is on the Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells provide the main nutrition support to the developing spermatogonia into the spermatozoa. So that is how the regulation of the testosterone happens inside the male's body. Mainly it is by the negative feedback mechanism. Alright. Now which are the variations in the testosterone level? At the time of 3 to 6 months of the pregnancy, the level of testosterone is increased. After the birth, the level of testosterone has been increased again. After the puberty or at the onset of puberty, there is tremendously or exponentially increase in the level of testosterone. Throughout the adult life, the testosterone level has been increased or the maintains to the increased level or the high level, and after the reproductive age is about to over 50-60 years after, there is decrease in the testosterone level. So these are the variations of testosterone level according to the age of the male. Male hypogonadism is of two different types: hypergonadotropic hypogonadism and hypogonadotropic hypogonadism. Here in the hypergonadotropic, that means GnRH and LH-FSH hormones are increased from the anterior pituitary gland because the testicular functions are abnormal or dysfunction of the testis. That's why the plasma level of gonadotropin is increased. So this condition is known as hypergonadotropic hypogonadism. And the second condition, hypogonadotropic hypogonadism. So in this condition, abnormality of the hypothalamus or the pituitary gland, mainly due to the tumor of the hypothalamus or the pituitary gland, so that the gonadotropin releasing hormone is not released from the hypothalamus, and in turn luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormones are also not released from the anterior pituitary gland. And due to this hypogonadism, that means the testosterone level has been reduced, and in this condition gonadotropin level in plasma is depressed. Here in the first condition, there is a abnormality inside the testis. Alright. And in the second condition, there is abnormality either in the hypothalamus or pituitary gland or inside the both. And due to both of these conditions, there is development of hypogonadism. And hypogonadism is the condition where there is decrease in the level of testosterone inside the male's body. Alright, so that is the male hypogonadism. Now the male hypergonadism. Excessive secretion of male sex hormones or androgens as occurs in the tumors of the Leydig cells. Tumors of the Leydig cell produce the excess sex hormones, that is the testosterone, and the condition is known as male hypergonadism.